Thank you.
Let's just start by giving, we're going to give people an opportunity to say your name and wave at the camera so we can see you as well. So Paige, we'll start with you since I think you're unmuted already.
All right. Hi, guys. I'm Paige over here. I'm from Joey Kitchen, University Village.
And you're the day manager, right?
I am the day manager, yes.
Okay, great. Welcome. Thank you. And we'll let you go on mute, and then the next person can come off mute, please, and just let us know you're here and say your name and your accountability, please.
Hi, guys. My name's Cassie. I'm the bar manager here at Joey Bellevue, and I'm with... Hi, I'm Courtney, and I am the purchaser at Joey Bellevue.
Great. Hi, Courtney. And the other one, I'm sorry, Courtney and...
Cassidy.
Cassidy. Great. Cassidy with a K. Wow.
With a K.
That's cool. Okay, great. Thanks, Cassidy. Welcome.
No problem.
Hi, everyone. I am Tiffany from downtown LA. I'm the bar manager.
Oh, great, Tiffany. You're coming up from LA. Awesome.
Yes, I am.
Yeah. Okay, well, you've got to make sure you say hey to Kent for me, okay?
You know what? He's actually right over there.
Oh, that's great. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. My name's Emily. I am the bar manager at Joey South Center.
All right. Hi, Emily. Welcome.
What's up, guys? I'm Ahmed, the night sous at U Village. What's up, guys? I'm Jake. I'm the day sous chef here at Joey University Village.
All right,
And
Jake.
I'm Darian, the bar manager at Joey Uville.
Sorry, say your name again, the last.
Darian, the bar manager.
Darian, the bar manager. It sounds like one name, your first name and last name. Darian, the bar manager. Okay, great.
Darian, the bar manager.
Thank you. Louis?
Hi, I'm Luis. I'm the night sous at the local public eatery.
Local. Okay, Louis. Welcome.
Hi, I'm Shannon. I'm the bar manager at Joey Polo Park in Winnipeg.
All right, Shannon, coming down from the peg. Great.
Yeah. I'm also Chris. I am the night sous, also at Joey Polo.
Hi, Chris. Good to see you.
I see.
Jessica Barkhouse?
Yeah, that's me. Sorry, I don't have my recording on, but my name's Jessica. I'm the night manager at Joey Polo Park.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Hi. I think I might have joined a little late.
Okay. And
My name's Jennifer. I'm from Joey Bellevue. I'm the day manager.
great, Jennifer. Welcome. All right. Is there anyone we haven't heard from yet that's on the call? Celine?
Hi, I'm Celine. I'm from Joey Polo Park, and I'm the guest service manager.
Hi, Celine. Sorry, I mispronounced your name. Okay.
That's okay.
Welcome. Okay, anybody else? Last call here. Okay, well, thank you everyone for being with us on the call. I'm the president and founder of the Leaders Circle. I'll be with you and everyone, and I think it's next week. Yeah, it's next week that we're going to be out there with you. And John as well is going to be with me, and he is one of the principals. He is the principal with the Leaders Circle. We've got some PowerPoint slides to share with you, and we're going to stop from time to time, and this is designed to be interactive as well, all right? So let me just share my screen. Give me one moment, please. Okay. All right, so John, can you see my screen okay? Seattle?
Yeah, everything's fine. Yep, Brian. It's good.
All right, why don't you present the logistics for everyone and just give them a sense of what we're going to be doing, please.
Okay, here are your logistics, Seattle. The course will be April 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, starting at 9 a.m. sharp and finishing no later than 5 p.m. We'd recommend you get there about 15 minutes ahead of time so you're set up, got your beverage in hand, and ready to go. It's at the Silver Cloud Hotel in Bellevue, 14632 Southeast Eastgate Way. There will be some snacks in the morning, not a full breakfast, but there'll be some snacks with coffee. And then there'll be a break in the morning, lunch, a break in the afternoon with some kind of snacks as well. You're on the pre-course call right now. And the post-course call will be April 15th at 2:30 p.m. Pacific time.
All right, so those of you that need to book flights, we trust you've already booked flights and you're staying at the same location. And if you haven't, just work out whatever you need to work out. I know traffic in Seattle can be very challenging as well, so allow yourself extra time. We're like a train. When we say 9 o'clock start, we're going to start right at 9. And when we say we won't go past 5 o'clock, we mean that. We won't go a minute past 5. And to give you a sense of who we are and a little bit about the Leader Circle, we are a business performance coaching firm. So we coach people in businesses on their performance, and we coach people on how to deliver results beyond what's predictable. We've had the privilege of working with the Joey Group since 2013. We've worked with your company now for 6 years. And we've delivered leadership development training programs for Joey for 6 years to several hundred Joey leaders. And we've delivered it and we've coached people all the way from Al Jessa, all the way from Lane, all the way through to the regional level, general manager level, purchasers, everyone, all levels of the organization throughout, everywhere you are. And we're Calgary based, although physically today, John and I are in our hotel rooms in Edmonton. So last week we led the same course to a group in Calgary. This week we're leading it in Edmonton. Next week we'll be with you in Seattle. The week after that we're going to be in Toronto. And then the week after that we're going to be in Vancouver. So this is a big deal that you have been selected to participate in this course. Now, Mastering Leadership course is custom designed for Joey. Although John and I have led this course and this material to literally thousands of people in different businesses in Canada and in the United States, the program that we're doing is designed specifically for Joey. Now, I know that I'm saying Joey. I know that we have local as well. I know in Alberta we have Salt Lake. But when we use that term, we're talking about the entire Joey restaurant group. And it's drawn from key foundational design principles from a program called the Being a Leader and the Effective Exercise of Leadership program. Now, our colleagues have led that program at Harvard Business School, at the United States Air Force Academy in Boulder, Colorado. It's been led at the London School of Economics. So this is cutting-edge leadership training that your company has invested a lot of time and money into. And it's a big deal that you've been selected. And John and I relate to ourselves. We use the analogy that you're Olympic athletes. So an Olympic athlete is someone who's already the best of the best. They're representing their country. And then they're there at the Olympics once every 4 years, and they have a coach. And the coach is designed to take a tenth or a couple of hundredths off of their time. So although some people are coming from Polo Park and some people are coming from Los Angeles and some people are right there in Seattle, we are relating to you as your big people. Your company holds you in high regard. There's nothing wrong with you. We're out to elevate and expand your performance as leaders. And also something about this course, it is proprietary and confidential. So the material that you get there, you can't give it to your spouse and you can't put it on the internet. You can't repackage it and sell it. John and I, this is what we've been given our lives to, and we've been doing this for a long, 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 long time. Okay, so that's an overview of the course. I just want to pause here right now. Does anyone have anything to share I would like to hear from, let's say, one person, maybe two people. Are you looking forward to the course? What, if anything, have you heard about the course? Is the course, just what's there for you when you look at doing this course? You can say.
Yeah, I'll go, Brian.
Yeah.
So I was basically enrolled in the course for my GM, and she says nothing short of amazing things about it. I took the landmark forum before this, and it absolutely kind of fundamentally changed who I am. And she said it's even better than that. So
awesome, Cassandra. Great, thank you. Great. Somebody else? Just what's there for you? I haven't heard a thing about it. I'm not looking forward to it. I mean, we got time and space for anybody, anything.
I haven't heard much about it, but I believe my chef and GM have been part of this course, and I know just from experience, I know they're at a higher level than I am. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they've learned from this and just what I can take from it to further my career essentially with this.
Great. Okay, great, Ahmed. Thank you. Okay, John, over to you, and I'll let you say a little bit about our approach too with the slides here, okay?
Okay, everybody. The intention of mastering leadership. This course, it's intended to be a 3-day journey of discovery. There are things in your life that you've discovered for yourself and things in your life that you understand or have figured out. What's the difference between discovering something for yourself and understanding something or figuring something out?
So John's asking you that question. So who will come off mute and actually say, there's something that you have discovered for yourself. And then there's something that you understand or figured out. If you look, whether you're a sous chef, whether you're a purchaser, whether you're the bar manager, who will come off mute and just say, hey, here's the difference between when I discover something for myself versus here's when I understand it or I figured it out. Who will share? Or you can say, I don't know what you're talking about at all. I don't understand the question. We can take that too.
Could you give an example?
Sure. Who's that? I don't see you on my screen. Who just?
All right, Jessica.
Jessica, yeah. So Jessica, what are you accountable for?
Within the night business?
Yeah, what's your title?
I'm the night manager.
You're the night manager, okay. And what location are you at? Let's see here. You're at Polo Park. Are you at Polo? Yeah, you're at Polo Park, Jessica?
Yeah.
Hey, Jessica, how long have you been the night manager?
I've been the night manager for about a year and a half.
Okay. Now, tell me something before you were the night manager, if you can think back a year and a half ago. Do you remember when they sat you down and they talked to you about, hey, we want you to be the night manager and here's what to watch out for and here's what to do and here's what your job is?
Yeah, I think the biggest struggle for me was because being a night manager, you're kind of a manager for the people. I have a lot of friends who work there, and so the struggle for me was holding people who work for me as business partners and a little bit less of friends and having those tough conversations.
Yeah. Yeah, great. So that was, you understood that was going to be a struggle for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, do you have a moment, another way that we use when you discover something, another way that we refer to that is when you have an aha moment, when a light bulb goes off, figuratively speaking?
Yeah, I had that when I had to have a differentiation conversation with the partner who to be honest, I was just scared of.
Yeah.
I had to hold them to a higher standard, and I was honest with her. I said, I'm kind of scared to talk to you. And we kind of had a breakthrough in that she didn't know that that's how I felt. And moving forward, she's like, I need to hear from you more in order for me to actually do better by your standards. And since then, there's been a huge change. And I think I just came to the conclusion that people would actually respect me more if I was just honest and transparent rather than avoid.
Brilliant. Now, what do you see now? Because that is something you discovered for yourself. What do you see as the difference versus when you understood it was going to be hard and then you actually did it? What do you say about that?
Well, it just kind of like my GM just kind of instilled like the just do it mentality of you just have to get things done in order to actually get the response you want.
Yeah. Yeah, great, Jessica. So you just demonstrated what it is to discover something for yourself. When you looked, you asked me, hey, can you give me an example? I don't understand what the question is. And then we had a conversation back and forth for a few moments. And then you actually got present to a time when you had that difficult conversation. And it actually led to a breakthrough. So that's exactly what we were asking in this question. You did brilliant there, Jessica. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And by the way, everyone, the interaction that Jessica was generous enough to have with us publicly, that gives you a sense of how you'll be working with John and I. We're out to have you look for yourself. We'll have a conversation back and forth. And oftentimes when Jessica shares something like that, you know, Emily or Shannon, you know, or Ahmed, you know, you might find something for yourself too out of that interaction. And that just gives you a sense of how we'll be working together as well. Thank you. Okay, John?
Intention of Mastering Leadership. This course is intended to be a 3-day journey of discovery. This journey of discovery is intended to cause breakthroughs in individual, group, and organizational performance in the areas that are important to you. In order to get the maximum value from your participation in this course, you'll need to keep in mind that everything in this course is designed to give you actionable access to power in the exercise of your profession. This is especially important when the course gets difficult or boring for you.
Yeah, so the way that we work, we're not about having you have to walk away with a notebook of things you have to remember or remind yourself. When we get our job done together, you'll be naturally used by everything that we're going to be coaching you on. So that's what we mean with an actionable access. One of the areas we're going to coach people on is in the area of communication. We'll coach you on having you look and discover for yourself, like Jessica did a moment ago. We'll have you look and discover for yourself, how effective is your communication? How effective is your speaking? How effective are you at listening? And we'll coach you on that, and we'll give you an actionable access. We'll give you a way that you won't have to remember. You won't have to, you know, like, what did they say to do? You know, like when I learned how to drive a car, they told me to put my hands at 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock, 10 and 2, 10 and 2. I don't drive with my hands at 10 and 2, but I remember Coach Biesenbach saying 10 and 2. So when we coach you on communication, we'll coach you in a way that it'll be right there for you about communication, about listening, about speaking. Now that's especially important to remember when the course gets difficult or when the course gets boring, because that could be a flag for where you check out as a leader back at Joey with your day job. You may check out when certain things happen. You'll be able to see it in our 3 days together, and it'll give you an access when it happens when you get back to Polo Park or when you get back to LA or when you get back to Uville, like that. Okay.
What's your promise out of your participation in this course?
So we're making bold promises to you. This is not just an airy-fairy thing for us. We're making a promise to you, and later on we're going to say what we ask that you take on to make a promise to yourself and to us to fulfill on these promises.
So you'll have experienced whatever individual transformation is required for you to be a leader and gain access to an unlimited world of possibility, inside of which you'll create an inspiring and compelling future for you and the Joey Restaurant Group. We'll provide you with what it will take to support you in fulfilling on that future. When you complete this course, you'll have experienced immediate results in increased effectiveness, aliveness, and ease. In the way this program is conducted, you'll also easily identify and deal with ways you are currently being in the world that you've struggled with, put up with, or that would be an obstacle to your realizing the future that you will have created for yourself and Joey. what you were promised out of your participation in this course. With this new way of being in the world, you'll immediately experience more vitality and certainty, and significantly less stress in dealing with whatever confronts you in the present. You'll be able to make choices with greater ease and trust the choices you make. In this course, we are not asking you to learn new skills, add to what you know, or even modify your style. Rather, we're asking you to inquire into the whole way you identify yourself, the world, and the relationship between the two.
So now we're going to go over our approach. And let me just say a little bit about how we're going to be working together, in addition to what I've said so far. So when we're together, we'll give you some time to do some individual work and some group work. So you'll work with a partner at times. You'll work at your table groups at times. Sometimes we'll even organize you into work with your respective stores. We'll have you inquire and create. So we take an approach of having you discover, distinct from understand. So we call that discovery learning, and we'll get into that much more when we're together next week. And then we'll give you an opportunity to share. Lots of opportunities for sharing, just as Jessica did a few moments ago. Share what you're discovering for yourself out of a particular conversation. And then we'll coach you on existence structures, conversations and exercises that are designed to have you bring the 3 days back to work. So for myself, I use Outlook. If it's not in my Outlook calendar, the likelihood of me doing what I give my word to, what I say I'm going to do, goes down dramatically. So we're coaching you to keep notes. So bring a journal if you don't have a journal, or bring something to physically write on. And I know a lot of people use their phones, and they use tablets as well, but we were asking you for the 3 days, have something physical that you can write on as well. Bring that with you, please. And then we're going to give you assignments and practices. We're going to give you something to do before we're together next week, and it'll take you, depending on how fast you read or what your relationship to reading is, you know, it could take you 45 minutes to 2 hours for you to do your pre-course assignment that I'll go over with you in a moment. We're going to give you some practices and assignments at the end of day one, at the end of Tuesday, at the end of Wednesday, and even at the end of Thursday. And then we're going to have a post-course call as well, a follow-up approximately 2 weeks after, to ensure that you have everything you need to keep using this in your life. Now, why I say this now is because for us to deliver on that bold promise we made to you earlier, and this to be one of the most life-altering leadership development courses you ever take, and that's where John and I are standing. Not like the truth, but that's our stand. We're standing in this, or this will be something over which you'll never get. If you don't do the work, you won't get the promised result. If you don't allow yourself the time to do the practices beforehand, the assignments beforehand and during and after, it'll be a waste of time. And we're committed that it not be a waste of time. But to give you a sense of the kind of assignments you'll have, a moment ago I talked about we'll coach you on communication. We're going to coach you on how to listen. And one of your assignments will be to practice noticing how you listen from Tuesday after the course, and then be prepared to share what you notice about how you listen on Wednesday morning when you come back. So that gives you a sense. It's not like we're asking you to do geometry or calculus or anything like that. We're asking you to take on whatever we coach you in that day and take it out into your life and come back prepared to share the next day. Okay, so we're going to give you some material to read, and we'll send it to you after this call. One is we're asking you to read an 11-page document, a 6-page document on it. It's an article, an interview on integrity with Michael Jensen. He's one of our colleagues. He's a former professor from Harvard Business School, and he's got an interview. It's on a colorful document. It's easy to read. It's his interview, and that's critical that you read that beforehand. As well, we're giving you a mastering leadership paper. And this may be for some people some heavy reading, and it doesn't have to be heavy. However, there are some terms in there We give you a glossary. We give you some definitions, and it will make a difference for you to read that before you come on day one. It'll deepen the work that we'll do next week. Now, full disclosure, when you get there on the Tuesday morning, we're going to check in. Part of what we'll be coaching you on is integrity. And integrity is doing what you say you're going to do by when you say you're going to do it is an aspect of integrity. So we're going to ask people on Tuesday morning, please raise your hand to acknowledge that you did the reading. And please raise your hand to acknowledge if you didn't. Now, I'm saying that to you up front, not to make you feel bad or wrong or guilty. No. We just want you to know ahead of time the approach we're taking. And it's all part of the design that you're naturally used by whatever you give your word to. You have the experience of knowing yourself as being a person of integrity. Okay. And then there are conditions for you being in the program. One is that you participate with integrity, which includes be on time, allow for the traffic, allow for whatever you have to deal with, allow yourself, our coaching is you're there at least 15 minutes before, so you have a chance to hang your coat up and sit down and, have a beverage and get relaxed. You're not walking in just 1 minute before. And be there till the end. So we start right at 9 o'clock. We'll have a break in the morning. Lunch will be approximately noon, might be 12:15, might be 12:30 before we begin. Don't schedule any other calls or anything during the day. You won't have that time. And also participate with integrity by doing the assignments, please. And then set your colleagues up to win or flourish while you're away. In other words, if you're passing over the scheduling for next week to somebody else, but you haven't, told them how to do it or showed them, the entry codes or something, that won't be setting them up to win. What you don't want to have happen, you don't want to have someone call you for an emergency because you're the only one with the storage room key, to exaggerate an example. But I think you get my point. And then show up with something at stake, something specifically that you're out to accomplish. And let me just pause right now so we can get this real. Here's what I'm asking someone to come off mute and share. What is it? You're going to go to a 3-day course. You know that the company's investing time and money for you to do it. What is it that will make a difference for you? What's an area of your career or your life that you want to take on, you want to grow in, you want to develop in, or you want to cause a breakthrough in? So who will come off mute, please, and just give us something that's real? What's an area, what would make these 3 days be worthwhile for you? Who will say?
Hi, Luis, local. I know that I'm very good at being reactive to situations, but I'm also very bad at being proactive. And this leadership skill will definitely, I'm going to try to find all the tools that I can to start being proactive and fixing problems in the long term and not just when they happen.
Brilliant, Luis. That's great, Luis. And thanks. I acknowledge you for jumping right out there and going first like you are.
Thank you.
Yeah. And Luis, you'll find when we're together, this is how we work. I want to take what you said, and what you said is brilliant, and let's expand it. Can you give me a recent, like in the last week or last 2 weeks, an example where you see you've been reactive instead of proactive? What's a real life example?
Well, let's see. Last week, I had my closer call out, and I had the ability to call somebody in, to tell somebody in, by the way, just in case I need you on this day, can you come in? But I didn't decide to do that because I thought that I was going to be all right. And as it turns out, I just had the luck of having my closer call off on me, and I could have had solved that problem.
Great. Brilliant. Great. Now that happened within the last week or so, yes?
Yes.
Okay, now let's even take this a step farther. So if you look between now and when we're going to be together at the course, between now and April 2, what's something that you can bring down, a real example where you can see, hey, this is something I can be proactive at. Tell me something in the future as a real example.
Um, for me, one of the things that I don't like seeing when I go to restaurants is dishes that are dirty when they bring them out. And I know that in my store, we could be a lot more proactive about that. And I've been trying to find different ways to solve that problem. Um, I have ideas, but I think that that's a very tangible, small problem that I can solve and show that there's something there.
Okay. Now, if you look at your schedule, if you look at all the other things you have committed to, if you look at all the things you know to do and that you're promising to do, is that something you are going to take action on between now and when I see you? Or is that something, it's like a one day, I think I might, or maybe I should? Is it something real for you between now and April 2? Or is it a one day thing?
One of the things that I had planned to do on Tuesdays, tomorrow when I start, is to have sit down with my day coach and day Sue and tell them that I want them to start focusing on that for me in the day. And at night, I was going to sit down with my night coach and start trying to implement ideas that we could try to solve. So I hope that it's a more than one day event.
Okay, good. All right, now, I don't know if you can see me or not, but I'm writing down, I'm making some notes to myself. And I'm making some notes to myself about what you're taking on. And what I heard you say is you're out to take some ground and being proactive. And I'm making notes to myself about what you're saying that you're intending to do or what you want to try to do tomorrow with your day, Sue, and with your night coach. Now, and then what I'm going to ask you to do, Louise, is I want you just to notice what happens around what you've said and be able to share with me, be able to share with us when we're together next week what you saw.
All right, sounds good.
Okay, great, good. That's great. Everyone, now that is Louise, and that's the course beginning to work because it's now real. I got real examples of how it looks in the past. I've got an example of what he intends to do tomorrow. And then when we're together next week, we've got some clay to work with if this were a pottery class. We've got something we can actually work with. Great, Louise. Thank you. Yes. Okay, so everyone else, you want to be doing that thinking just like Louise did. What are you out to accomplish? What specific area do you want to grow in? What will make these 3 days worthwhile for you? All right, a little bit about our methodology here. So there's different ways of learning, and we'll say that there's one way of learning called informational learning. Informational learning adds to information, adds to skills and established capacities inside of one's existing worldview and frames of reference. Now, frames of reference and worldview, what we mean by that is the frames of reference refers to the network of ideas and beliefs through which an individual interprets and interacts with a given specific something. It's the way you see the world, or the worldview. It's your model of reality. It's your mindset. So in the pre-reading, we know that worldview and frames of reference are not ordinary words. We'll give you a glossary, and we want you to read that so you're more familiar with those words when we're together next week. Now, what's that mean? If I wanted to become an airline pilot or learn how to fly an airplane, and I don't know how to fly an airplane, there's information I would go and learn. I'd read. I'd go to flight school. I'd get information to learn about that. I would know more about what's involved. But the knowing more about it doesn't give me access to becoming a pilot, really. I've got to put my hands on it. I've got to actually fly. I've got to have an access to going from someone who doesn't know how to fly to someone actually knowing that I can fly, to use a metaphor. But my point here is we aren't going to give you information about being a better day Sue or being a better purchaser or being a better bar manager. Now, our approach is actually in the domain of transformational learning. We're out to alter one's existing worldview and frames of reference. Alter how you see things, what your current model of reality is. If you've ever had what we call an aha moment, that's the domain that we traffic in. So we will say much more about this, but we wanted you to know that our approach is one of transformational learning, life-altering moments, as opposed to more information. Okay. Now, John's going to take us through this next to give you a sense. This is not psychology. It's not positive thinking. Here are the 3 different domains from which all of our training, all of our coaching comes from. John?
A new access to human performance, ontology. Ontology is the study of being, the study of existence, or as we'll be using it, what it means to be human, or what it means to exist as a human being. Phenomenology is the study of how we perceive the world, others, and ourselves. It's the study of how the world actually occurs for us versus our theories about the world. Neuroscience is the study of how the brain works.
Yeah. Now, I know that was a mouthful there. It's not important that you understand all of that. We just wanted to give you a background and orient you to how we'll be working together so that we can hit the ground running when we're together physically. So I want to give people, as many people as we have time to hear from, an opportunity like Louise did earlier. What outcome are you out to cause? Or another way of saying it, what specific outcomes do you say would make these 3 days worthwhile? Or another way to look at it is, where do you want to grow? And where do you want to develop out of being with us next week? I'm going to stop sharing my screen and you can come off mute and let's hear from as many of you as we have time for. Who's up?
One thing, this is Alvin speaking, by the way. One thing that I really want to work on is just, while being the leader in the building, one of my Achilles heels, I almost do too much. I'm too hands-on, so I've gotten that feedback before, and so I'm looking forward to finding out how I can delegate to my partners while being an inspiring leader in the building and make my role more desirable, essentially, because people are like, oh, that guy works so hard, he's doing everything. But does he have a great supporting roster around him, essentially? So I've been diving into my leaders, essentially, and looking at what I can do for myself to either motivate my guys to do more for me so it's not all on me, and then that way I just have more leaders in the building looking up to an aspiring leader.
Right on, Ahmed. Thank you. Got that. Tiffany.
Hi, can you guys hear me?
We can.
Okay, perfect. So I struggle a lot with coaching in the moment and not being so reactive. And sometimes I catch myself formulating like stories in my head without actually knowing the facts. And so whenever I get coaching from like my mentors, I'll ask them what they would think if I approached a conversation the way that I had thought out in my mind. And usually they give me a completely different scenario. And so I guess I just would like to know like the art of conversation before I actually have the conversation.
Got that. Okay. Coaching in the moment and the art of conversation before you have the conversation. Got it. Thank you.
All right. Hi. Can you hear me?
Hi. Yeah, we can, Paige.
So something that I am working on is not being so stressed out in the moment when things aren't necessarily going like the perfect way or the way that I think is perfect. And then how I'm reacting towards my partners and building them in those moments. So kind of what I think I'm looking forward to is just the conversation in the moment and how to really build those partners up in the stressful times instead of outwardly showing that I'm overwhelmed.
I got that. Great, Paige. Thank you. Hey, Cass?
I can go next.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping to get some organizational clarity over these next 3 days. As far as my presence on the floor, I think I have, that's one of my strong suits, and being able to speak powerfully to the partners that are on the floor, despite what's happening around. Somebody just screamed in the background.
We heard it.
Yeah, it's just more about utilizing the time in the building more strategically, so that way I can maintain a little bit more of a work-life balance. I think almost everybody in salary can empathize with, staying the longer hours because we care so much for the business, and I'd like to be getting more out of those hours that I'm in the building, so that way I feel like my people have got it when I'm gone.
I got it. Really clear. Thank you.
And I can go next.
Please.
I'm very new to anything leadership role at all. I have just been told kind of to start taking on more, and I don't know exactly how to take it on, how to really have the conversations with people that need to be had or anything of that sort. So trying to just get the basics of all of that and move forward is kind of my goal.
Perfect. It'd be great you got yourself in this program. Hey, Courtney? Good for you, huh?
Yeah, it's going to help me a lot.
That's great. Thank you. Okay, Emily, I think you're on mute. If I see your mouth moving, but I don't hear you. Oh, you're on the phone. Jessica, can't hear you though. Not yet. Can't hear you yet.
How about now?
Perfectly.
Okay, got it. Woo! Something I'm working on is my edge. I've struggled with it. I'm the GSM at Joey South Center. And I have always had like coaching on working on my edge, and I'm kind of in the same position as I don't remember the name, someone else who said earlier, when it's difficult to look at some of the people as like not just your friends, but also fellow employees. So I'm definitely struggling with like getting those harder messages across. And so that's what I would really find beneficial if I got out of that meeting.
That's great. Yeah, and that was the other Jessica that said that.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. Great. Yeah, it was Jessica from Polo Park that said that earlier. Great. Thank you. Emily, do you want to go since you're off mute?
I guess so.
Okay.
I've got a few things. So one thing I struggle with is allowing my pride to kind of get in the way of how I manage things and just anything in general. Just because I am very prideful in everything that I do. I'm a perfectionist. I like it to be done perfect. I like to do it myself, and so that's one thing that's kind of just gets in the way of like how I delegate to other partners as well. I would just rather do it myself, and I need some help with that in that area, but also letting my emotions get in the way of conversations as well. I'm a very emotional person, and I'll tell you right now, I cried probably every day the last couple of weeks, just for one reason or another. And so, I mean, just really trying to figure out like why I'm so emotional, like what triggers that, and if it's a deeper thing or whatnot, and if I can kind of put that to the side and just be straight faced and not let the emotions get in the way when I do have conversations. So
Wow, that's great, Emily. That is so great on so many levels. And bring it on. I'm a crier too.
Okay, I'm not the only one.
You're not the only one. We're gonna have lots of tissue there, so feel free. And I got what you said. I got everything you said. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Emma, how about you?
Hi. Hi. I'm the night Sue over at Joey Keniston. I don't think I got a chance to say that, but just so you know, hi.
Thank you.
One of the things, I think it's kind of a reoccurring thing that quite a few people go through in the leadership role is those tough conversations. And I think that that's been my biggest opportunity so far in the management team. I do find that I hesitate and have a tendency to go, oh, well, let's just give it 24 hours or something, when I should just really sit that individual down and really kind of hash it out, and so that we can come to a clarity and common ground. And for some reason, I find myself hesitating. So I definitely want to work with the coaching on that. So yeah.
Awesome. Great, Emma.
Thanks.
You. Yeah. Okay, how about Shannon?
I guess the one thing that I'm looking forward to getting out of the course is just learning some technique on how to always have like a follow-up or a follow-through. One of the things I do is, in my mind, I'll think that something's getting done, but I don't actually have a follow-up, and I don't ensure that it's actually getting done. Does that make sense?
Yep, got that. Thanks, Shannon. And Chris?
Hello.
Hi.
One of the things that I look forward to getting out, at work, I'm extremely passionate on what I do. And just like others, during the stressful times, I kind of get, I wouldn't say angry, but pretty stressed out. So I think figuring out a way to switch the way I perceive things and how I act and how I am in those stressful situations is going to be a lot of help for me and also all the partners around me. So that's the one thing I look out of this course.
Great, Chris. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Anybody else?
I guess I can go now.
Yeah.
Can everyone hear me?
We can.
Okay. I think my biggest thing, and it's something that I've struggled with for a while, is allowing myself and others around me to make mistakes. Basically, I'm too hands-on because I'm worried people are going to make mistakes and it will make me look bad. And then for myself, if I do make a mistake of some sort, I'm very hard on myself rather than just learning from it and moving on from it. So I think that's something I would like to get out of the course.
Brilliant. Got that. You're going to love it. Well, you might not love it. It will deliver on what you're.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Anybody else who we haven't heard from, or anyone else have anything else before we wrap up the call? Let me give you some coaching, all of you too. You can use this opportunity to ask your mentor, or ask, some of you have coaches, or some of you have people you confide in. You can let them know, if you haven't already, hey, I'm going to go and I'm going to do this leadership course. And this course has an opportunity to alter who I am as a leader. What would you recommend that I focus on? Or you could ask your mentor, what is something that you would like for me to take on and develop myself in? Now, I know many of you sit down with people often. However, you could seek somebody out that you really trust, or you value their opinion. You can do that as well. John and I are going to give you everything we got next week. This course is powerful. We stand in that it delivers. And if there's anything that you need at all between now and when we're together, don't hesitate to get in touch with your GM. They can get us directly. And again, just set yourself up so you're totally there with us physically and ready to go when we're together. And John, anything for you before we end the call?
No, I'm just looking forward. I spent 8 months working down in Seattle in 2015, 2016 on a contract, and I loved it. So I'm really looking forward to getting back.
Great. All right. Okay, well, Tiffany, again, thank you. You'll be the lone person, I think, Tiffany, from LA. Isn't that accurate? Are you the lone person coming up from LA, Tiffany?
Carla, the bar manager, will actually be joining us. She wasn't on this call, but I took notes for her. I did have a quick question. The presentation slides, will you be sending that also with the reading material before the course?
Yeah, John, do you want to speak to that?
Yeah, we will. What we're going to do actually, Tiffany, is we'll send a recording of this call to everybody that was on the list. So Carla will actually get it direct, and she'll be able to listen to and watch the call and have the whole thing laid out for her. And we'll send the reading material to everybody.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay. All right, everyone. Well, thank you very much. We'll look forward to seeing you. Take care. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.